Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Vayechi. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim. This week's Parsha, there is no gap between the end of Vayigash and the beginning of the Vayechi. Normally there are about 9 letters that differentiate between the end of one Parsha and the beginning of the next Parsha. Rashi explains the reason for this. Rashi says, Nistmu einehem v'libam shel Yisrael mishibud Mitzrayim, that the Jews now felt the pain of Egypt, and that caused their eyes and hearts to be closed. Rav Moshe Feinstein says that this teaches a lesson by the fact that, well, why would it be here that we have the Parsha Sasum? Yaakov is still alive at this point. Things are good. So the lesson from this is to tell us that they had a problem. The Bnei Yisrael, and literally it's the children of Yisrael, that they were in Egypt and they were enjoying the good life there. They were being supported by the king and things were fine. And therefore they didn't feel like they were in Galus, and they should have. And because the fact that they thought things were so good, when things changed suddenly, it was a shock to their system. That's what there was the susum of Einam V'libam. For example, when Yaakov died, they couldn't even take him out for burial without the permission of the king. And then they realized that they weren't in control of their destiny. And that's why it was Sasam Einehem V'libam. Had they factored in the fact beforehand and realized we're in Galus and we're not in control, then if things get worse, it's more moderate change. And with the more moderate change, then it's not shocking, and it wouldn't be that their eyes closed. And Yaakov Avinu, the way he acted, he only went down into the exile of Galus when Hashem promised, I will take you up. He was concerned. He realized it was Galus, unlike his children, and therefore they were shocked to see the dramatic changes in how they're treated. And I think this will connect with the exile theme to something that Rav Moshe said later in the Parsha in Perek Memches Pasuk Hey, Vatash Shnei Banecha Hanoladim Lecha Be'eretz Mitzrayim Ad Boi Elecha Shalihem. Yaakov is about to bless Yosef's children, Menashe and Ephraim, and he says these extra words like, your children that were born in Egypt to you before I came, they're mine. Like, why do you say that they're born in Egypt? We know that before I came. What's the significance of this? The message here, says Rav Moshe, is that we are responsible for the chinuch of our children, no matter where and no matter when. Even in a place as disgusting as Egypt and as low as Egypt, we have to make sure they get the proper education. What Yaakov is saying is, I taught you, Yosef. I taught you so well that you were able to pass on the Masorah even to your children who were in Egypt. And that's a good sign that it was because of me. Because anyone who is not born in Egypt, whether or will be born in Egypt after I come, or someone who is outside of Egypt, I don't know if it's specifically how well I taught, because everyone was together in a good environment. But your children who were in a bad environment shows that I was able to teach you well. Therefore, Shalihem, they're mine because I taught them well. So I think we have 2 points here to take away. Is we have to remember that as well as and good as things are in Galus today, especially in America, as I always say, the Medina Shel Chesed. So we have to remember that we're at someone else's largesse, and that's not the way we want it to be, and that our responsibility to teach and be machanech our children applies everywhere and anywhere. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.